Recording is on.
So please, I'm inviting everybody to make their comments, please. Tell us how you feel about the program. Stan, Lynn, Josia, Umar, Wema, please. I invite you to take on the microphone. Anybody that wants to go first.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for this feedback session. I think first and foremost, I'll have to agree. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. It's really been really hands on. So the only thing that it's really giving me that what do you call the urge, like to go on, like so this what I have, this what we've been taught, and this what needs to carry, as our trainer said, this thing is here to stay. But it will only make sense if we try to not even being the best like AI engineer in the house, but just trying to understand what's going on, what's happening, what's needed where, what works where, what what solution can come up with to streamline, automate. So for me, it was really more of that thing that really icks you. You understand? So it's really been comprehensive, both theoretical and hands-on. At least to give to it's also really been realistic. I'll have to say most of the if maybe I don't know if the rest of the maybe my other peers, but most of the things, let's say you see this big hype boot camps around AI, you just told introduction, advantages, disadvantages, policy, of which is not bad, but now we have to get to the practical bit of it. So with the one dev, whatever the session we've had, it's been the whole deal, the real deal, the whole package. So even hence for even trying to go the next step, it will be really easy because you're not one-sided. You're given the whole scope. So that will be my take. And any more that is to come, I'm all in. And thank you so much. And it's been really educative and to more engagements. It does not end here. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Stan. Thank you so very much. I want to also give my little idea into AI automation. First off, I actually studied biological sciences in the university. Um, Unfortunately, I actually became a sales manager, and to the point that I had um, about three different multinational organizations in Nigeria in the FMCG industry. So, but my quest for IT, my quest for tech, first off, drove me into doing programming, Java programming language. From there, I migrated into front end, then DevOps. Then finally, just this year, I had an opportunity to do training on automation, and it was wow. To be sincere with you, just workflow automation alone is the powerful tool for you to get things done easier and faster. Very very important, and the world is going AI. Everything you know about is getting automated. Every page, every big page has a copilot, has an agentic AI. So it is very very important that we keep on pushing, keep on learning, because these are hands-on tools that you will be needing in the future. Even if you don't become an engineer tomorrow, it will be needed for you. I did not study app script. I did not nobody trained me on app script automation. But because I had an idea on N10, Zapier, Airtable, Make.com, it was easier for me to use the concept with the help of the ChatGPT. I can actually automate some workflows using the app script. So these are some of the things that you stand to learn and gain and develop yourself the more when use these kind of opportunities. What we are doing in one dev at this foundation level is not just to introduce you, but to expose you to what you would, need in the future. So this is just a beginning. This is just the first step into a greater future for you. So please, I want to welcome any other person. We need three or more, but at least three people, because we don't want to keep this program lengthy today. So two more persons that can give us their insights into how they feel about the program, what they think they are taking away from the program, and any feedback you want to give to us. Please, yeah, the microphone is yours. Thank you. Please, I need the students to talk. I can start calling names. Lane, you have been very active in the class, so please, we want to hear from you. V, Josiah, Omar, please, I want to hear from you. What this session is to hear your perspective about the training, so that we will know how we can, improve on ourselves. You can also give your commendations to the tutor. I know he's a very, very energetic person. He doesn't even drop energy from the beginning till the end. And if you don't catch up, if you are not that fast learner, you will not be able to flow with Mr. Dave. So please, these are some of the feedbacks we would also want to welcome. Please give us your rating. I'm waiting, please.
All right, so, I think I'll go. For me, I can say that it has been a very eventful session for the I think was it 1 week or something. Yeah, the exposure is substantial and it's good enough to propel us into trying to explore AI and agents on our own and also to learn even more. I think Dave has shown us how to go ahead and learn by ourselves and given us a few of the resources that we can use, which is so good. I think for me, going forward, I will now sit down and try to read deeply and maybe come up with something substantial that I can show to the world and maybe also try to solve a problem in my community or something like that. And just commendation for them. That was a job well done, and thank you for enlightening us, even people from different parts of the world. And we are so personally, I'm so grateful, and I wish this thing could also continue to help other people. Yeah, Dave, that was a 10 out of a 10. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. That's very commendable. Thank you so much. Who else is going? Maybe the last speaker, the last person to give us their rating, their review. So who is going next? The last person. Who?
Hello. For me, I'm really grateful to for one day because I'm a beginner. When I was starting the course, I didn't know anything about Python. I didn't know anything. I was just fresh, but right now I can play around with the VS Studio, and I'm really trying on my own, and I'm very very grateful because when I was joining, I didn't have any idea, and right now I am somewhere. So I'm really grateful, and I would also like the program to continue so that it can help many people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mama. There are lots for us to unpack for you today. To be sincere with you, like I said earlier in the introduction, AI is here to stay, and you can't do without it, especially the agentic AI. Let me review something to you. Very, very, very important. Mr. Dave was taking us through different models of AI, um, and it was just coming to me. Could you believe that I am not um, a software developer? But today, with the help of I can actually just giving AI prompts of what I want. I have developed several websites, deploy them, just because the AI is here to help us. Without AI, I wonder what the world would have been by today. So, but this is what we need to tap into. The industry is very vast, and the opportunities are very, very wide, and they are limitless. And I want to encourage everybody, please don't give up. As you have started, you keep learning. Don't ever stop learning. We learn every day. And like we said yesterday, our community is open. Anybody that has anything to ask, please push it out to the community. We are here to assist. We are here to help you, to learn with you. And again, there are a couple of articles you can read online, learn. Then, if you have a knowledge, you can share your knowledge with the community. That is how we will improve ourselves and grow. So, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for those who have made their comments. I want to also encourage you, please, in your social media accounts, you can share these feedbacks. You can go to Trustpilot and give these feedbacks to us, because we need the feedback as well. You can also publicize it in tag one dev in all your social media accounts, and make these comments for us to motivate us, because this is almost like a charity organization we are running presently, and we are using it to help to develop African youths, especially to bring people, upskill people into the IT industry. So please search us on the social media, tag us anywhere you're making comments, tell the world what you've learned. If you have portfolios tomorrow, publicize your portfolios on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter account. Let people know what you are doing. Let people see what you're doing, and tag the relevant industry players that can retweet or comment or like your post. These are the ways to push out yourselves. It will help you to gain that popularity, that exposure. You know, and before you know it, you wouldn't know where it will get you to. So I want to congratulate everybody for the journey so far. It's not ended yet. The learning continues. And again, we are going to be revealing the next plan of one day to you before the end of this program. And I also want to mention that for those who are interested in receiving certification for this bootcamp program, please, we are going to give certificate to everybody that will submit the assignments. Even if you have participated and you don't submit the assignment, definitely we will not give you the certificate. So the prerequisite for getting the certificate is your assignment submission. It is very important, and we can leave the window open for you as long as you want, for you to be able to do your assignment and submit it, please. So, but I am encouraging everybody to practice it. It is not just about getting certificate. Certificate does not speak to what you know. It's only a document to show that yes, you have done this training, but the skill you have acquired is embedded in you. It is a skill that will show that yes, you actually know what that certificate is talking about. So please, I want everybody to practice that assignment and submit it within the timeline, so that we'll be able to issue you certificate. Thank you very much. Mr. Joseph, if you're ready, please, I'm inviting you to take on the microphone. Thank you very much. So for others, Mr. David is NVIDIA ambassador in Africa. He's a software engineer as well. And he's been doing very well in the industry. So he's going to tell us about himself. He's going to tell us about the industry, the opportunities we have, the future prospects, and a whole lot about the industry. So, Mr. Joseph, you're welcome. Thank you.
Uh, Hi everybody. Hey guys, how are you doing? Okay. So as I've been introduced, my name is Joseph. I'm a software engineer, and I wear a lot of hats. At the moment, I'm also I'm also a student. I'm trying to pursue my master's degree to advance my AI skills. And one thing that I could say is that I'm really proud of you guys because you've actually taken the first step. If this is your first step, or even if this is your second boot camp or you're that boot camp, you're doing really amazing work for yourself because my as probably you'll see in my presentation, I'll talk a little bit about myself and my journey, like on how I was able to get to where I am. And if you want to see more, you can still go to my LinkedIn page. So just search me on LinkedIn, and you can see like the different posts that I've been making there, and you can see like kind of the journey that I've taken. So probably posts from like 3 years ago, and how like yeah, taking action or trying to expose yourself to a community actually gives you opportunities. And congratulations once again for this milestone that you've reached. So yeah, I'll definitely share that. So here it is. So just look for a guy. Oh, yeah, I'm not sharing my screen. How do I share my screen here? Okay.
Mr. Joseph, the share screen button is the third from the left. The third button
Yeah,
from the left.
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, so
Thank you.
let me just pull up my presentation and we can get started. So, I've just had like a lot of amazing stuff from Stan, from you guys, and I remember those days where can you guys see my screen? Can you see my beautiful face? Is it beautiful or handsome?
He's really very handsome. We can see.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much. So, uh, and for me, it's quite brief, like in terms of what I'm going to go through. But since you guys have already taken the first step, I think I'm going to kind of try to advance it and actually show you that this is the actual right step. It's the right direction. Probably, like for some of you, it's still not clear exactly what you want to do or what you want to do with these skills, but it's a way forward. So for me, when I started writing code back in 2019, I used to write C++ code. So I used to write edge devices, so microcontroller code, microcomputer code, because I used to do robotics. So in robotics, you have to write low level code for software devices. And if any one of you has a question during the presentation, just feel free to ask. So I'm just going to give you a brief background. Uh, when I was doing my bachelor's, so this is me graduating, and you can see like when I was doing my bachelor's, I did my bachelor's in mechatronic engineering, and to be honest, being at the university like really transformed me because when I got to the university, my first question was, "Is this all there is to life? Like, is this what is going to uh, my life is going to be, just going to those boring lectures that I didn't find quite exciting, but it's like touche, like I'm now trying to pursue further education. But I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I met up with a bunch of guys who were also like that, and there was a club that was already exiting the university, and there was Google developer groups. So that's his GDSC that I joined then, and I was able to start like joining hackathons, doing events, like organizing events, like and that's how I was able to actually start learning AI. So I started with Edge AI. So Edge AI is where you deploy or like you quantize AI models to be able to run on low power devices. So, for example, you want to run AI that is not connected to the internet, such that the inference, like let's say you are trying to run like a computer vision model like that detects like let's say wild animals somewhere in the forest, or you're trying to create a model that it's trying to monitor the health parameters of a patient. So we'd ideally deploy it in in an edge device. So when I was doing all that, um, so I started with that, and then now I became with that, like we're doing a bit of good work, and we managed to do a couple of events that managed that allowed me to kind of grow skill wise. So after that, I was able to I was able to start like my first AI project. So this is my first AI project. So this was if you guys have done through these boot camp, I know probably you have gone through this project where you do face detection, like you can use your webcam, and this was me sitting in a lab somewhere in my mechatronics course, trying to tinker with AI while seeing like what's out there. And funny thing, this project, when I did this project, I posted it on LinkedIn, and this is the project that got me my first job. Like just a random video, just a random video showing me, like just trying to play about with OpenCV got me my first job. Like I remember when my professor, a professor back then, had an AI project, and they didn't really know who to use in the university. And when they saw this picture somewhere on LinkedIn, they actually reached out to me and they hired me for my first job when I was still in campus. And there is no defined way of like this is the right way. Like you have to go through this boot camp, you have to know C++, you have to know like all these many things that probably like you think you need to do. The main thing that you need to do is to start and put yourself out there. Once you put yourself out there, the community will be able to ideally correct you and guide you towards success, because you can't be able like to make it on this journey alone. So here now, I started AI, trying to do AI on edge devices, trying to combine AI with robotics. So trying to do like guided, like is it automatic guided vehicles where you will be able to like build robots that used to avoid obstacles. That was just like edge based fencing, and then these projects also like kind of gave me the momentum to become the an NVIDIA ambassador. So I think I guess one of three in my country. So I'm from Kenya myself. So I was just one of three. I'm not sure if there are any other ambassadors within Africa. And NVIDIA allowed us to get access to edge devices like high compute devices like the Jetson platform. We got access to other devices that allowed us to like ideally build a community. Like this picture here is one of the events that we did as the Edge ML communities, and we are trying to train students from our university using the Edge ML computing. So I later got into research. So you remember my first project of me trying to just use AI as a computer to try and detect a person. And so once I finished my undergraduate, I was hired by the same professor. So they kind of like hired me now as a research assistant. So I got to do research in advanced computer vision. So this is in 3D reconstruction, where you can be able to infer 3D shapes from images. And that took me about a year of my life, and it was a huge success, and it gave me more confidence in terms of approaching more complex stuff, because like I feel like most of the things that you're going to do online, like let's say you have TensorFlow, so you'll go do TensorFlow, or probably you're using scikit-learn, and you don't really know, like let's say if you're trying to do like a Gaussian model, or like you're trying to do a Gaussian model, where you're trying to get like how we evaluate the performance of models. There is actual mathematics that was done by researchers back then, and then they created it as a function in sklearn. So I got curious to know, these models that we are just like passing in parameters. Like let's say you'll put in like training data, split this data this way. Why is it like done that way? So that's how I got into research. And yeah, so I got into research at the time, and I published my first paper in a team. I got to lead. I got to work with an international team. So I worked with like several universities in the US, a university in the US, two and three universities. No, actually four universities in Africa, and that gave me also like leadership skills, which was also like crucial in my next role. So this is the kind of research, and if you want to read the paper, like I'm part of the authors of this paper, yeah, you can look at it or at this link. And this is what we are trying to achieve in this research. So we are trying to solve a problem. So like for people who are trying to get prosthetics, so let's say you have gotten an amputation, and in Africa we don't have a lot of resources. Am I still on the calls? Oh, okay, sorry. So in Africa, we don't have a lot of resources, but we do have smartphones. I believe that every one of us on the call hopefully has access to a smartphone or like a computer, but we do not have access to advanced equipment like 3D scanners. But how can we how can we solve a problem with what we have at the moment? So like how can we solve a health problem that we have using smartphones? So can someone get a prosthetic while only having a smartphone? So that's how like I got my research was in advanced computer vision. So essentially we're just like taking a video of a stamp, you reconstruct it, you're able to generate a socket from that, and you can be able to create the patient's prosthetic. So that was part of it. So if you want to dig deeper into it, just go to this link and you can be able to see my research in advanced computer vision. And I think that's one of the approaches that I'd like you to probably take away from me, that you don't you don't need to know a lot of things. Like you don't need to know like how to write like deep learning algorithms. You don't need to know how to fine tune. The most important thing that you need to know is what you want to do with those skills. Like you would like it's like how would I call it? There is one professor of mine who used to make a joke that when someone is learning to drive, like let's say you have your own car. When someone is learning to drive, a person who has already their own car that they want to learn how to drive, they'll be able to get way more from a driving school. But someone who just came in for the skills and they don't really want to drive a car at the end of this, then they do not have ability to, they won't like be as interested. So as a matter of fact, like we need to learn the problems that we need to solve. So, and I'd like you guys to contribute if there is something that you've seen in the society today that you'd like to leverage AI with to solve the problem that from the skills that you've learned in this bootcamp. So how is AI being applied in the industry? So I believe that any one of us has used these platforms here, any social media platform, and you've seen like everyone knows about the TikTok algorithm. Everyone has had like Elon Musk when he acquired Twitter, he open sourced the Twitter recommendation algorithm, that an algorithm that will be able to ideally try to curate the content that you're seeing in order that it matches what actually you like it tries to create a virtual you, and it knows you know what, so this is Stan and he likes Python, and the things that he would ideally try to buy would be probably if Udemy is selling something, I would ideally push Udemy content on his advertisements. I would ideally try to push like Python bootcamps. I would ideally try to push like people who are trying to advertise schools that are doing like advanced degrees in AI. So you'll see that within this call we'll all like get different recommendations depending on what our interests are. And that is why like there is this big imbalance. Like you'll see that the applications of AI currently in the industry is what, 46.15% of the whole thing is used in marketing and advertising. So marketing and advertising. And why is it used that way? Like because all these platforms that are here, any platform that you can see on the screen, the revenue comes from marketing and advertisement. So the way that AI is being applied is to see how can we improve our revenue streams. And that's why you'll see like some startups in AI do very well and others do very, very badly because of what? They do not have the core driving force. Like, what are you trying to achieve? Like, let's say in Africa, in Kenya, and I hope like the Nigerians, like in this call, in Kenya and Nigeria, like there has been a big revolution in terms of payments. Like, the world is still surprised in how Africans can be able to develop technology that they didn't think of because we were able to solve our own problems, right? So if you guys came out of here and just banded up and you said, like, let's say, you see, like, let's say in road, so if in road construction you guys were able to like essentially say this is a problem that we are facing as Africans, and like any industry, and AI can be able to solve it, I promise you that your startup is going to raise millions and billions of dollars, and your startup is going to run because you're actually solving a problem. But we don't need AI just for the need of it. We actually need to solve some sort of problem, and you guys have already gotten the skills. So I'm really like looking forward to when like guys at One Dev are reaching out and asking for compute resources. That we have this amazing startup that came from this bootcamp, and nice things. So we have seen where people are using AI. Like, this is how like AI is being distributed in the internet. So financial services for those of us who are interested in forex, and like entertainment. So entertainment closely matches to marketing and advertising, because the first recommendation algorithm, or like the people who are very, very keen in recommendation algorithms, are people like Netflix, of which they try to market videos or like their movies or their series like within their platform. So this is how the market is distributed, and you'll see, depending on how big the market is, that's how big AI is able to help them. So I'm hoping that in once we come up with a pie chart for Africa, we want to see like things that actually affect us: health, AI in health, AI in education, AI in food security, AI in security, all those things that actually affect us as Africans. So one big question is, why are you guys here? Do we actually need this AI? If you think about it, like, and the answer is quite tricky. Like, the answer is yes and no. Yeah. So you guys really like need to look at, instead of like it's like having a a tractor, like having a tractor and you're not a farmer. Like, the tractor is not useful to you, but if you give the same tractor to a farmer, it will be extremely useful to them. So we need to have problems that we are solving with AI, so that we just don't ride the hype. We ride the hype, and then after like 5 years, when the bubble has burst, we no longer have solutions. So we no longer, like, the hype is gone and we're trying to chase the next thing. So with that, like, we won't be able to actually build a foundation that is going to actually work for us. So, and in that spirit, we do actually need AI. But what actually makes a good AI model? One is very good data. So I don't know if you guys are online, and you'll see like there is this complaint that in Africa we have a digital divide where people are not able to access models in their local language. AI models don't have local context. But then you come back to the same people and ask them, do you guys actually want to invest in collecting local data? And they're like, now they start stuttering. They like they don't really know what they want to do. So we actually need to put in the work. And how can we put in the work to ensure that AI actually works for us? It's ensuring that we have good data, good African data, good data that is going to help us make decisions, that kind of things. And we already have amazing researchers, we have amazing developers, and you guys here, like, we have amazing product managers. And the other thing that I discovered that I thought that we didn't have, and then discovered that we actually do have a lot of, is compute. So compute is Like right now, each and every, for you guys to hear me, my voice and my face has to be captured, transformed, and transmitted to you. So all that process requires compute. To train AI models, it requires a lot of compute, and it's quite expensive. So how can we innovate around compute? So remember, in this slide here, in this research, we saw that we do not have enough resources to buy a 3D scanner for a patient to get their prosthetic. So how can we innovate? How can we use what we have? And there are like pretty innovative solutions that are out there. So recently we were piloting a project that was using, like, let's say, let me count how many people are on the call right now. Let's say we are around 20, and we are around 20, and if you go and like, let's say each and on average, like each and everyone's computer here has a CPU capacity of, let's say, 8 GB on average. So 8 GB times 20 is how many vCPUs? So that is 8 20 160 uh, RAM. So let's just look at the RAM. If you looked at renting a virtual machine on AWS that is 120 vCPUs, you'll be shocked. Like, you can actually use that money, like within 1 year, you can use that money to buy everyone here like a good performance computer. But the problem is we usually like not we usually go pay to the cloud, and we pay that money to the cloud, and then at the end of the year, the virtual machine instance is taken, and we end up not having a computer and not having our money. So can we actually be able to invest, like, instead of compute money going outside, we could have like money, let's say, I can see that Dave, Max, V here, that they can be able to, for $1,000 of compute that I need, I can be able to send V $50, I can be able to send Victor $20, I can be able to send Lean $10, and they can be able to perform compute tasks for me, so that it works for ourselves. And then, so at the end of the day, at the end of the year, we'll all have our computers, and we'll have $1,000 within Africa. So those are the kind of innovative ideas that we're looking forward to you guys giving us, that we have this problem, how can we actually solve it with what we have? Yeah. And I don't know, what's ahead of you now, like, how do you feel? And we have already gotten the answer here, that uh we we already have the skills, and the next steps I can hear, like, from the testimonies that we just got, that everyone has figured out kind of what they want to do. But most importantly, my slogan is, in anything that you're doing, ensure that you have fun, because, like, you're the most important thing that we have. Like, we don't care about the AI models, we don't care about the, like, if you're not healthy, if you're not happy, then everything else does not matter. So if you guys can be able to enjoy what we're doing, and we can be able to build awesome stuff at the same time, yeah, that will be my greatest joy. So, and yes, that is my short presentation. So unless you guys have any questions, I'm happy to take the questions.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. It's a huge insight into the industry. So, like you said, if anybody has a question, please go ahead. Yeah, Stephen, please go ahead and ask your question. Um,
Okay, probably Joseph would just say hujambo and niaje. Anyway, just for the sake of those those of us who are joining us from the other part of the continent, good evening, and thank you, Joseph, for that great insights. Mentioning of Dedan Kimari, we're just some few kilometers from here, from Dedan
Awesome.
Kimari University. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, going to ask a question about edge computing. Could you just, for the sake of person who just want to, for curiosity purposes, just a hunch or just a high level explanation of what is edge computing. That's all from me. Thank you.
So edge computing is the opposite of cloud computing. So currently, like for example, if you're prompting ChatGPT, you're not using the compute on your computer. Probably like a very the model is not deployed on your computer. So edge computing just says that the model and the data sit as close as they can be. Like if I collect images, then I process the images within the same device. So I use the device to collect the images and process the images with that same device. So edge computing looks as taking data as close as possible. Yeah, so it's a wide topic that will probably like need another like day or like a whole like plan to just look at and see the advantages and the disadvantages. But I think of it as a way of bringing the compute closer to the data. Yeah, I think that's the best answer.
Thank you.
Any other question from Mr. Joseph? Any other question, please? For me, Joseph, I want to ask a question. Is there any community, especially in Africa, where developers, learners can get exposed to some of these opportunities, information, to be able to upskill themselves?
I think there is a bunch of communities like they are everywhere. So I had like these when I started my masters at Carnegie Mellon University, so like it's a Pan-African university where you so like currently in our cohort we have students from 20 African universities, and the thing that I've seen is that community is everywhere. Like if we meet here, like we form a community, and like what I know can be able to be shared. And I guess like for me the communities that worked for me is like community that was ideally like created by big tech companies like Microsoft and Google. So Microsoft, Google, and then like we also had like our own communities within the universities. So around universities you'll usually find like tech communities. uh there's also like community like developer communities, developer people who organize developer meetups. There are these also like platform based, or people who are trying to like create platforms like if you're in Nairobi currently, there is a Postgres event that is going to happen. And I'm sure like anything that happens in Nairobi either has already happened in Lagos or will happen in Lagos. So, and same is in Johannesburg, same in Kigali, Rwanda. Like that's the thing that I've seen, that there is information is everywhere. And then like online, that's where you can be able to get there, because like for most of my certifications, like my AI stuff and certification, I joined an AI class first when I joined my master's program, and everything that we are learning is already online. Like you can be able to go, if you have an interest in anything, you can be able to access the information free on YouTube. But if you want to pay for a well structured thing, you can be able to join like you can be able to pay Udemy, and like always like post your work on LinkedIn, and you're going to find people with similar LinkedIn and X. Those are the places that I quite like going to see what people other people are doing within the space.
Thank you very much. Another question I want to ask is, um, it's very, very factual that the technology gap between Africa and the rest of the world is very huge. If you go to
Yeah,
Asia, the Chinese, the Japanese, they are doing fantastically well. The Europeans, the Americans are doing so well in tech. And Africa, we are mostly the consumers of these tech innovations. What do you think
yeah.
we, the younger generation, should do to be able to at least get closer, to start building models, to start um, inventing robotic solutions to African problem, because right now we have a lot of African problem that needs to be solved. So please, I need you to advise us what and how we can start bridging this gap between the knowledge um, deposits Africa versus the rest of the world.
Well, I think it's just a matter of building, or like actually having the resilience. Like if you look at the statistics, like in terms of the startups that were funded in the past 2 years, like we've gotten close to almost $1 billion, like startups that are within Africa, either trying to solve problems for Africa and probably problems even beyond Africa. So we do what I would say, like, is what we lack is like for example, like ChatGPT. ChatGPT is something that was developed by the Americans, but everyone uses it because it's convenient for everyone. But if you look at like African innovations, like mobile mobile payments started in Kenya, but now almost every other country that I've been to within Africa has some form of mobile payment. And if at all we continue pushing mobile payments, even like trying to push it outside, like outside of Africa, we can still be able to distribute it. Like because I feel like the thing that we need to start focusing on is actually problems that we are solving. We like I usually stay and encourage my friends and myself that we don't actually need to do what they have already done. Like we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to start building GPUs so that we can be able to compete with GPU manufacturers in China. Probably we need to manufacture our own chips so that we can have our own security. But we can. They have already had the wheels rolling. So what other wheels can we make? What other problems can we solve as Africans that would be a solution to the whole world? I'm sure, like for example, if you're from Nigeria, Flutterwave. I have integrated Flutterwave for clients who work in Europe, and Flutterwave works amazingly. Like it will be able to, it's low charges, it gives value to the customers there, and Flutterwave has been able to do that. Like it's a product that was made in Africa. Like that's the kind of solutions that we need to provide. If it's robotics, if it's in robotics, if it's in creating models, in Africa, we have a lot of data. If we could be able to collect that data, then we can be able to sell this data, can be able to create models that give you like probably performance like in agriculture, all those things. So it's just like a point of identifying a pain in the world that we can be able to use to solve using our brains. And I'm quite sure the money will come. Yeah, so I'll just say this, that money will come and the resources will come, and we'll actually start contributing to the world of technology, since we already have talent. And as most people will say that the biggest asset in Africa is the youth. Youth who are highly educated. They're highly educated, they can be able to do anything. Like sometimes people think like it's a bad thing, like you'll find Africans like being figuring out ways to pull like very very complicated scams, people being able to pull off like very very complicated like hacks and stuff. But if you give this person another opportunity, like they are not struggling to figure out their next meal, you give them like these resources, and you're working on this problem, I'm quite sure they can be able to develop fantastic solutions, and also like educate them properly, all those things. So I feel like, to answer your question, we don't need those things, yes, but we actually need to start like having our own African approach, having first being able to solve our own problems, and then we could ideally spread those solutions to the world, just as the example of Flutterwave worked.
Wow, thank you so much. I don't know if any other person has a question for Mr. Joseph before we can let him go. Any more questions?
I have a question. Thank you, Joseph, for the session. It was so inspiring. So I have a question. If someone is like just that dived into AI, what is a roadmap they need to follow in order to become resourceful in terms of creating system and not just demos? Uh, Personally, for example, I do software development, but I just started learning AI, and I would want to be in a position where I can make reliable systems that can incorporate a lot of things like visuals and like the ones that you have showed us on your portfolio. Yeah. So what's the roadmap?
Wow, that is a very good question. That if I gave you that, I would like that and have an answer to. One thing that I've found is that there is no specific roadmap specifically for being able to achieve these things. For me, like the way that I've learned is like I usually, like, let's say for example I want to let's say you have talked about graphics. Like if you're trying to create like a very good graphics probably product, and probably you're trying to create I don't know, I don't have a good example. Could you give me like lean an example of like kind of project that you would probably like in your software development, or the kind of software that you develop? Like could you just give me like 2 or 3 sentences like description?
Like a project that encompasses
Yeah, yeah,
visions.
yeah. Like what would you like? What would you like to do with vision? Like currently, like just 2 to 3 sentences.
Okay. Apparently, there's a problem that usually happens in the rural areas where for farmers like fish farmers, when they buy fingerlings,
Yeah,
some of them are dead. So like,
yeah.
is there a way I can bring visuals into play so that someone can so, so that someone can be able to mitigate the losses and the downside of having to lose money for, especially for farmers when they are trying to acquire fingerlings from the centers that sell the fingerlings.
Oh yeah, no, that's now an interesting approach. So, so we have the problem here, and so you have already stated your problem that you want to detect between fish that are alive, like fingerlings. Sorry, fingerlings that are alive and fingerlings that do not have like high life expectancy. And the first step for me would be first to collect the data. Like, uh, you would ideally try to collect the data to say, is there a way that people can identify? Like, would you would try and go to the market and see when a farmer is buying fingerlings, how do fingerlings that have like high life expectancy behave, and how do fingerlings, like, do they move a lot? So like if for example they're in that like bucket with the oxygen flowing in, do they move a lot, or like how do they behave? So you will be able to collect that data and ideally like label it somehow. Like let's say fingerlings that are alive, they move a lot. So you expect that if if you put a camera on this bucket, or like if the farmer points the phone on this bucket, they could be able to see the fingerlings that are moving a lot. And the vision model will tell them this fingerling looks very healthy, and you can be able to pick these, and these ones others are not displaying like very good health conditions, so leave those. So the first step will be identify your problem. Congratulations, Lins, you have already done that. So the next step now will be to collect data, and then the easiest part is training the model. Like I don't know if you guys experience these during your bootcamp, but for almost any problem that you have, there is always an open source model that will help you solve that problem. The main problem that we have is data. So, and this model can be deployed anywhere. So either like the model could be deployed either like on a website, on a mobile application, on edge, and there are like various ways you can be able to deploy that, deploy that model. So you just need to or you have already identified the problem. So you've seen these are the characteristics that I want to detect, and then you look for a model that will help you best classify those features like within your data set, and then now you can be able to get a solution for your specific problem. Yeah, so that's how I'd approach like actually incorporating vision to such a problem, because vision will be the best thing. And ideally, sometimes you'll even find that when you try to collect data, you'll find that you can probably you can probably like even discover that there are other solutions that are already there, or like you don't necessarily need to use vision. You can use like sound, all those things. When you start like collecting data, now you can be able to determine the best model that you can be able to use, or the best approach that you can be able to use for specifically that problem that you're trying to solve. I hope I answered your question, Lee.
Yes, thanks.
Thanks, Lee. Back to you. Or if anyone else has a question, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, Joseph, thank you very much. I don't know if any other person is interested in asking questions, but if there is no questions, please, we need to let him go because he has tried. He has done so much for us. Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you so much, guys. If you want to reach out, did I share my LinkedIn? Let me just share my LinkedIn here. So just this is my LinkedIn profile. Just search for Joseph Maina and so Carla and Carnegie Mellon. That's me. Thank you so much, guys. See you.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. So the last program we have today is a presentation from the founder and the co-founder of OneDev. Is Joanne and Monalisa. I don't know if they're ready. Please, you can take the microphone and speak to us. Less than 10 to 15 minutes, we are rounding up this program. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience as we wait for Mona Lisa and John to talk to us.
Hi everyone. Can you all hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Please drop an emoji. Let's see if you're still following. Awesome. So, first I want to congratulate everyone who have made it up to this point. I see some of the faces I saw the very first time, Gichogu, Max, Dan, a whole lot of you, Umar, Wema, Lean, Joseph. It's really exciting to see that you made it to the very end of this program. I am so excited. And I'm looking forward to what you will build. I'm looking forward to the next stage of your career. If it's possible, personally, keep me in the loop because I'm particularly interested in people who are just starting out their journey. I know once you've stabilized on your journey, you're able to figure things out, and then from there, you're probably going to be one of the best developers would have in the ecosystem. So, congratulations once again. It's a thing of joy to see that some of you actually got to the very end of this program. As they always say, many are called, but a few are chosen. So, for those who actually made it to the end of the program, I am completely excited for you. And it shows that you actually have the commitment, what it takes to go into the advanced stage of AI development. This is barely scratching the surface. As you all know, this is foundations. This is expected to test your interest in AI before you delve into the core curriculum for AI. If you've not tasted this beat, this is over 15 hours of yours committed to this program. If you've not actually, if you don't have 15 hours to commit to this program, then it simply means that you don't have the interest in actually going further to become one of the best AI developers in the ecosystem. And if you had this exposure and still not convinced, then it's still a good time to switch to something else. That's the whole idea of the foundations program. Now, you all have made it to the very end, and I can see some of you also share some enthusiasm. I can see your commendations of the speaker. I want to specifically thank Dave, the tutor, and also Joseph, um, all the people who have contributed to the program, Aisha, um, Mr. Val, everyone who has made a strong contribution to bringing this program up until this point. I want to especially thank you. It's not what we do here may look simple, but we actually know the impact it creates in the long run. And before I continue, I would want maybe Aisha or anyone from the team to share the Trust Pilot link, even if it's just share the Trustpilot link. If you've got any value from here, we want to hear directly from you. Just write us a few sentences out there in the world to also encourage other people to take the same opportunity that you've been given. We are here to help those who are willing to go on the journey. Okay, so having said that, I want to unveil what the next stage looks like. There were some questions around where are we going from here? What are we doing next? How do we continue our career? We've thought out all of those processes and we are more than happy to expose you to them today. We have a diploma program coming up, and we have also created a special pipeline for those who are coming from this program, for those who are coming from the foundations program, who successfully completed the foundations program. Now, the diploma stage is still for beginners and intermediate level. That means in that class, you're going to see people who are coming in from mainstream who don't have the kind of, early exposure that you've had here, who will be joining that program. Then, for you who specifically have gone through our beginners foundations program, we've created a different package for you that actually makes it easy in terms of budget and everything to get on that 4 months program. The curriculum would be shared right after this. After today's session, you get to see the curriculum and everything you expect to have as part of that 4 months program. Now, the structure that we intend to run there would give you access to both learning, building of projects. Of course, what we had in the foundations program is more like a crash. Um, it's very sketchy, but in the advanced one, you're going to have access to opportunities to build, co-create products, so that at the end of the 4 months foundations program, you will have a portfolio to showcase. Guys, there is no builders. For builders, you already know what to expect, right? It's not a certificate galore, right? You definitely need that certificate, but you need your portfolio more than you need that certificate. So every opportunity to collaborate will be included there, from hackathons to portfolio case studies. And of course, it's still going to take the same structure that we have now. There will be an instructor who will support you, which is why I always prefer to advise those who are beginners to look for structured environments where you can learn. Seriously, there are a trillion information out there, and this is where most people get stuck. By the time you get into the larger pool and you try to learn everything and you don't know the right curriculum, you don't even, it's so overwhelming, and that's why many never complete. A lot of people, if we have to take a census here, you find that a bunch of us have inconclusive programs we've done on Coursera, and free programs here and there that we have inconclusive everywhere, and that does not in any way help your career. So we've created a structured curriculum that is meant to help those who want to advance their knowledge in AI development. And the program will be starting on the 19th of January 2026, right? The program will be starting on the 19th of January 2026. So for those who want to be a part of that program, it's already subsidized, and this is a partnership with some of the partners who will unveil at the right time. It's already subsidized for those who are coming into this program. The full package is about $250, but for those who are coming in from this who successfully completed this foundations program, they are going to be getting that for about $99. The program is going to last for 4 months, and there is so much that you can get from there. It's basically a hand holding process, which is very much preferred. That's the whole idea of communal effort, which is way better than learning by yourself and trying to do everything by yourself. You also get the opportunity to collaborate with others while doing this. Now, there's something particular that I want you to take out of here. Yeah, please pause on that page. Go up a bit. A bit. Yes, this is just okay. Now, one dev, we are building a talent cloud, and the January cohort would be the very first beneficiaries, which is something I find very exciting, where all of our talents, and all of the people who have passed through our program will be found on that talent cloud. And this is where our recruiting partners will have access to recruit from. What this means is that if you've built a project, you've completed the foundations, you've completed the diploma, you've run through a hackathon, you participated in a project, all of those small micro credentials will be found under your profile in the Talents Cloud. This makes it very easy for recruiters to look through your profile on the OneDev Talent Cloud and say that this person has the requirements we need. There is no need for any extra, double checking and advanced verification process, because they can actually see what you've done on our platform. It's a very integrated platform that contains links to all the programs that you've done, what you've built, and easily verifiable. And we can easily make a reference for you if that is necessary, that this is the extent of your capacity. You've gone through our program. Now, that platform is going to have both job and internship matching support. I need you to pay very close attention to this, because people usually ask, what is next? Yeah, there's always that question of what is next? What is next? The next stage for you now is to immerse yourself into the actual learning. This is this is if you ask me, I would say this is like 10% of the work. After this stage, you get into the diploma program, and after that diploma program, you would have built a portfolio, a small one at that. And then the diploma program will be 3 months of learning and 1 month of internship. This is a simulated internship. What that means is that it will be done within the organization. However, it will be done in teams, and the teams will run like actual project teams in organization. So our best that are coming out of that internship, internal internship, we can now pitch them to external parties, for potential internship. But we want to be sure that the people we are sending out there are actually the best of the best coming out of our ecosystem. So we've talked about what you should expect in the Talents Cloud, as you can see it on your screen: internship and job matching, continued mentorship for graduate, freelance, open source projects, and the rest of them. I wish I can show you exactly where we are on the development, but I wouldn't bother you with that information. You can expect an update on that if you're on our email. Of course, you're already on our email database. You'd be the first to know once that platform is fully ready. So, can you scroll down a bit more? Yes. I've talked about capstone, what's required of you. We are definitely going to be including capstone project as part of your diploma program. So when you are leaving the diploma program, you already have something to showcase to employers, right? And then alumni engagement, we definitely have our alumni platform for people who have gone through our program and successfully passed through it. So here is the duration, 100 USD, yeah, 99 USD for those who have successfully participated. And then information around payments will definitely made available to you as soon as we are done with this program. As soon as we are done with today's program, you receive information on how you can comment immediately towards payment to secure your slot. We are actually, what we are doing is to prioritize those we know have the commitment, because external people are also coming, interest and all of that. But we want to prioritize those who we are sure will give us the results that we need. And that's the people who have successfully gone through this program. If you can scroll down a bit more, I'd be able to wrap it up. Yes, and then the additional benefit, as I mentioned before, we have an ongoing partnership. It's some of these will be unveiled when it's time, maybe early in January. We have some partnership discussions of people who can actually come in to support those who are coming into this program, device sponsorship, and all of those. These are some of the benefits that you will not get from open source. I encourage open source, right? I, by the way, encourage open source. Get as much materials, learn by yourself as much as possible. But there's always a place for communal learning. If you're on this, it can be quite a lonely journey, right? And you would not find some of the benefits that we have especially curated for people in our program, largely on open source platform. So it's best to balance your approach if you really want to make it. There are lots of opportunities that we get because people are looking to recruit and they reach out directly to us to make referrals to them because they know we work with a large database of developers. So they trust our judgments to be able to. That's why some people say, oh, I've not been getting jobs. Oh, I don't have opportunities. I usually ask, what communities do you belong to, right? And how are you active in such communities? Because most often some of the recent job trends I've found now is that people actually, recruiters go straight to communities to recruit because there are lots of fake things happening out there on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is quite a busy place. Before you apply, 1,000 other people have applied, so it's hard for you to show up on the pool. But if you are committed to a community and we can speak of your tech stack, we can speak of your capacity, it is very, very easy for us to say this group of persons, this is their data, they are the best candidates for this role. So that's why, as tempting as it is, to learn freehand and all of that, it is a good thing if you can do that. By the way, it's your advantage if you can learn freehand and also be able to apply what you've learned. But most importantly, do your best to belong to the right communities that can help accelerate your journey, whether it's the right events, making referrals, sharing updated information about how tech stacks are evolving, or sending you link to event, discounts to events, making referrals for you where necessary. These are all the opportunities that you will find in engaged communities like OneDev that you may not be able to find out there if you decide to run everything all by yourself. So this is the whole package that we have for you. I will be expecting questions from you. If you have any questions in the course of this meeting, please drop them in the chat or open your mic and ask so we can provide all the visibility you need regarding the next upcoming AI development diploma program. Thank you very much, Mr. Val.
Thank you, Mona Lisa. Please, if you have any questions for her or for the team, kindly do so before we wrap it up today. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Absolutely, I can hear you. Do we have any questions from anyone? Do you need further clarity? This is a good time to ask your questions.
I think in the absence of any questions, it's good to call it a day. Um, Thank you, everybody, for your active participation. Please, like I said earlier, the learning continues, even though the bootcamp has ended officially, but the learning continues in the community. For those who will be interested in continuing the 4 months diploma program, please keep a check on your emails. You'll be receiving emails as to the information required for that. And we'll be keeping a tab on the community. Please, um, you have all the information available to you right now. I will still make more available. Thank you so very much for making this a journey. We'll keep improving and we'll keep developing and upskilling ourselves until we get it right. Thank you. Have a blissful evening. God bless you, everybody.